Next on the Rockbridge Report, the snowstorm on the East Coast 2 weeks ago has caused blood shortages. We'll show you where you can donate.
The wet weather has also raised concerns about construction at Waddell Elementary School. Peter Rathmel gives us a progress report.
The warm weather this week has caused most of our snow to melt, but there could be more flurries coming our way. I'll tell you about all that and more in our upcoming forecast.
And later, a local mental health office is moving. We'll tell you what's going to happen to the historic building that will soon be vacant.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Keenan Willard.
And I'm Kinsey Grant. Unseasonably warm weather in the Rockbridge area may make you forget about the winter storm we had last week. But Jordan Cohen says one healthcare agency wants you to remember it still needs your help.
The snow has melted, but the Red Cross says the need for blood is still urgent. The agency is behind on its blood donations and wants you to lend an arm. WNL and VMI have already stepped up. When snow falls in droves, transportation comes to a stop. And in the wake of last week's winter storm, the Red Cross's blood drives came to a screeching halt.
Blood products have a shelf life. They don't last very long, and so it really depends on sort of continual donations. So anything that disrupts those regularly scheduled or ongoing donations can cause a shortage in blood products.
In response, the American Red Cross has warned of an urgent need for blood, prompting drives on the campuses of Washington and Lee and the Virginia Military Institute. Red Cross External Communication Manager Kristen Hatfield says student donors compose approximately 20% of all Red Cross blood donations.
You like to do your part, if people need something, you like to be the one to provide it.
Collection specialist Dee Pfeiffer says the process of collecting blood is quick and easy.
We tell all of our donors it's a lot easier than what we have in our mind.
For Pfeiffer, the best part of her job is working with donors.
There's not too many jobs where you get to save lives every day and work with people who your customers, or in this case our donors, are coming in out of the kindness of their hearts.
Hatfield says the number of uncollected donations resulting from last week's storm reached approximately 10,000. The National Red Cross will continue its blood drive initiative to meet this deficit. In the meantime, redcrossblood.org still warns of an emergency need for blood. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Jordan Cohen.
On Wednesday, President Obama visited an American mosque for the first time during his presidency. He spoke out against religious bigotry towards Islam.
Recently, we've heard inexcusable political rhetoric against Muslim Americans that has no place in our country.
White House officials said this was an argument against Donald Trump, who has proposed banning all Muslims from entering the country.
It's been over a year since construction of Waddell Elementary began. With just months left until the doors open, winter has finally caught up to the project. However, as Peter Rathmel reports, the snow and its potential delays have done nothing to stall anticipation for the new school.
More than a foot of snow last week may have stalled the construction of Waddell Elementary, but progress on the school is still on schedule.
Things are still plugging along. They have the academic area close to being very close to being dried in, so they can continue work inside in terms of building up the block for the classroom.
Despite the weather, the building is still expected to be completed around May 19th.
Well, it's just everything's been an upgrade. Even from moving from the old Waddell to the modulars have been an upgrade.
The new Waddell will have a smart board in every classroom and plenty of new technology for the students.
Those components themselves will help our teachers and our students in terms of designing their instructional program here in the 21st century.
With construction of the building being from the ground up, students have been forced to be relocated to Lilburn Downing Middle School.
What we did was we rented a bunch of modular buildings, two modular buildings for all the students, and so the students were in these modular buildings, and that's where the classes have been for last year and this year.
Collins says the school board originally favored a two-phase plan that would keep students in Waddell and minimize their disruption, but decided that the school was in such bad shape that a full-scale initiative needed to happen immediately.
The most cost-effective way of doing it was doing it all the construction right at once and displacing the students into the temporary housing.
Despite the weather and nuisances of relocating students, excitement could not be higher.
So that everyone to have a sort of a great environment to work in and learn and teach. I'm sure the kids will be excited to get a new playground too.
Waddell students will be able to play on that new playground next fall. This is Peter Rathmel with the Rockbridge Report.
Anyone involved in a court case is subject to court fees. These fees help the courts pay their bills. They can range from $70 for a small offense like a parking ticket to thousands of dollars for a criminal case. People serving time in jail often struggle to pay their fees because they don't make enough money on work release. Many leave jail with criminal justice debt, and failure to pay can lead to reincarceration. Unfortunately, there is not much to be done about this at the local level. The state controls all the fees. Last year, the Rockbridge County Sheriff's Office dealt with a handful of cases involving synthetic marijuana, also called spice. This dangerous drug has been known to leave users with long-lasting side effects. These could include frequent hallucinations and paranoia. If caught with spice, a user can expect conviction sentences similar to those given to heroin and cocaine users. You can find out much more about this issue on our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu.
The presidential race is more competitive than ever, and it showed at the New Hampshire Town Hall Wednesday. Before the first presidential primary of this political season this Tuesday, the two remaining Democratic candidates spoke directly to voters, and they hit each other hard. CNN's Mary Maloney has the highlights.
Fresh out of the gate at the New Hampshire Town Hall, Bernie Sanders slammed his Democratic rival, Hillary Clinton.
I do not know any progressive who has a super PAC and takes $15 million from Wall Street. So what all I said, you can't go and say you're a moderate on one day and be a progressive on the other day.
Clinton fought back.
I was somewhat amused today that Senator Sanders has set himself up to be the gatekeeper on who's a progressive. I'm a progressive who likes to get things done.
The Vermont senator tried to motivate his base and sway voters.
What this campaign is about is not just electing a president. It is creating a political revolution.
But he insists he's the underdog in the race to become the Democratic nominee for president.
Of course we're an underdog. We are taking on the most powerful political organization in the country, and that's, the Clinton organization.
The former Secretary of State urged voters to look at her record.
Before it was called Obamacare, it was called Hillary Care, as you remember.
And reminded voters what's important for the Democrats in this election.
But the goal has to be to prevent the Republicans from getting back into the White House and undoing all the progress that has been made under President Obama.
I'm Mary Maloney, reporting.
A nonprofit in Buena Vista is continuing to raise money to help local workers. John Tompkins will have an update from a fundraiser last weekend.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Hi, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
He's on his way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay.
Laura.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
The Hopkins House in downtown Lexington has a new owner. It will mean a change for people getting counseling in Lexington, but the old house will have a new purpose. Lindsay Castleberry reports.
The Hopkins House once served as the meeting place of Lexington's Baptist Campus Ministries. It remained in the Hopkins and Paxton family from the time it was built in 1841 until Dr. Kirk Luter and another therapist, Laura Turporton, bought the building in 2003.
Didn't need a residence anymore, so we bought the building and renovated it and established a kind of a group practice in that building.
Luter, who is a psychiatrist at Washington and Lee University, held a private practice once a week at the house. A few months ago, John Adamson, a real estate developer out of Richmond, asked to purchase the building.
I had just not wanted to put it on the market because it's so disruptive for the practices in the building, but he made us a good offer on it and agreed to help to facilitate finding new space for the practices that were in the building.
Adamson also bought and renovated the old courthouse on Main Street and leased it to W&L on a multi-year contract. Now, he's working with the school to convert the Hopkins House and a nearby building on Jefferson Street into the new home for the J. Lawrence Connolly Center for Entrepreneurship. Counselors who practiced in the building have already felt the impact of the sale.
We were, of course, originally quite surprised and saddened. You know, it's been a wonderful place to practice, and there's a community of therapists here, and of course it's a wonderful old building with lots of good energy. So it was sad and a little bit, fearful when, there is change, but I think it's been ultimately a very good thing, and the location where we're going, the group of us is a little bit more discreet, it's more private. This is a much better location probably for W&L property. It's close to the main colony.
Robinson and 3 other therapists are taking their practices to the Evans House, a newly renovated historic building on Randolph Street. They will make the move later this month. Other therapists have moved to various buildings throughout Lexington. The counselors say they will miss the Hopkins House, but are excited for the future. The Hopkins House will be restored over the next few months. In the meantime, counselors are saying their last goodbyes to one of downtown Lexington's historic properties. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Lindsay Castleberry.
Severe weather left a trail of damage in North Carolina Wednesday. The rare February storms hit Davidson and Randolph counties particularly hard. Wind gusts reached 50 miles an hour in some areas, bringing down trees and power lines. About 2,000 people are without power. There have been no reports of injuries so far. Now, luckily our weather's been a little bit tamer than that recently. We have Claire Spots now with our local forecast.
You're right about that. This weekend looks pretty good. Let's take a look at our forecast. The current high for today is 49 degrees with a low of 29. Barometer reads in at 30.04 inches. Wind speeds coming in from the northeast at 8 miles per hour. And humidity is at 56%. Take a look at our current regional conditions. Lexington and Buena Vista are at a high of 49 degrees. Charlottesville is at 53. And Covington is at 36 degrees, and they're experiencing some snow. If you look over here at our satellite radar composite, you'll see moisture moving in from the southeast up along our eastern seaboard, which could be bringing us some flurries next week. Look at our 5-day forecast. This weekend looks pretty nice with a high in the mid to upper 40s, lows in the mid 20s. With partially sunny skies, you should definitely try to get outside. Looking at our weekday forecast of next week, you'll see Monday has a high of 44 degrees, low of 25, and this is the day you could be expecting some flurries. Tuesday will have a high of 38 degrees, low of 19, going back to our winter weather. Back to you.
Washington and Lee's Campus Kitchen held its 4th annual Super Bowl this past Sunday, January 31st. The event is a soup tasting in Evans Dining Hall. It raises money to combat childhood hunger in the Rockbridge area. Nearly 20 restaurants in and around Lexington took part, including Bistro on Main, Southern Inn, and Haywood's. All proceeds from the fundraiser benefited the Campus Kitchen's backpack program, which delivers backpacks filled with food to over 700 local schoolchildren. The Rockbridge Area Occupational Center is devoted to giving disabled adults in Rockbridge County the chance to work. This week, the organization held its major annual fundraiser in Lexington. John Tompkins has the story.
For volunteers and staff at the Rockbridge Area Occupational Center, Mardi Gras came a week early. King cakes, colored beads, and streamers filled the conference room of the Cole Alto Hampton Inn as the organization hosted its annual fundraiser on January 31st. The center, or RAOC as is commonly known, is located in Buena Vista and has had to begin fundraising in recent years after many of the manufacturing companies it had previously relied on to employ its workers left town.
We do have about a third of the workers that we once had here. Part of our challenge today is that manufacturing has decreased in this community, and that is a direct impact on the work that we have. So we are looking for work.
RAOC raised $5,000 during this week's event, but it has an annual fundraising goal of $45,000. Browning said that while fundraising is filling the gaps in the organization's lost income, she and others are working to change the way in which the nonprofit operates by diversifying its employment opportunities.
What we're looking at now is developing multiple income streams so that we're not entirely reliant on something like manufacturing ever again. But we're really looking at new things for the future, and one that we've started in the last year and a half is making jewelry. It's been very well received.
But as crucial as fundraising will be to RAOC in the coming years, Executive Board member Ann Riffey Buckner said to remember that the center's most important role in the Rockbridge area is that it provides its workers with the ability to contribute to their community in a meaningful way.
Our workers love to work. They just love it. And when they get their paycheck, they are thrilled. So it's incredibly powerful. It's the dignity of work.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm John Tompkins.
On to.
A local university has high expectations for expansion. Abby Thornton has a report on how this will affect the city of Buena Vista.
From fall of 2014 to spring of 2015, and the university's administration is predicting rapid growth in the near future. These efforts.
A dinosaur park is returning to the area. Henry Luzito has a story on when it will open.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out!
For summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Southern Virginia University is expecting its student body to double in size within the next 10 years, and the university hopes that the citizens of Buena Vista can help it reach this goal. Abby Thornton reports.
Southern Virginia University, the small college in Buena Vista, known for its largely Mormon student base, recently experienced its highest retention rate from fall of 2014 to spring of 2015, and the university's administration is predicting rapid growth in the near future.
We're trying to do a bunch of different things to help the students have more to do so that they're happier while they're here and choose to stay, as well as expand the program offering. So we were pleased that this spring we had the highest fall to spring retention that we've seen.
A large part of the university's effort to keep its students coming back involved the introduction of several new extracurricular activities. And students say that between the university and the town, they find ways to have a good time.
I mean, it's really different. It's not like your typical college town, but there's still a lot of fun things to do. The school puts on a lot of activities and things all the time.
The university expects to see its student population grow to around 1,500 over the next 5 to 7 years. And Councilman Steve Baldridge says that while this has some citizens worried, the university's strong religious roots keep its students' behavior in check.
This is a great relationship between the town and the college, because almost no students violate the alcohol policy, and the policy is not to use alcohol. And so that's a real plus for the community.
Even with this strong relationship, the university recognizes that more things could be done to make the city more alluring to prospective students. With the Rockbridge Report, I'm Abby Thornton.
The next president of Washington and Lee University might finally be revealed in a Board of Trustees meeting this month. Much of the process is confidential because most candidates currently hold high-profile jobs at other universities. A 15-person search committee of members from the W&L community and an outside consulting firm will make the final decision.
Plus, a look at the big ticket prices for Sunday's Super Bowl. All that and more coming up in sports.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Every budget, so don't accept defeat.
Now you can get covered and still
Buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Super Bowl 50 is on its way to becoming the most expensive sporting event in U.S. history. Ticket tracking site SeatGeek reports that the average ticket price is just shy of $5,000. This price tag is hundreds of dollars more than the record-setting ticket price for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight last spring. It is also far more expensive than tickets to Super Bowl 49, which had set a record for the NFL. The Denver Broncos and Carolina Panthers face off Sunday in the first Super Bowl held in Silicon Valley in more than 3 decades. The area's high average income is likely a factor in high ticket prices.
It's been fantastic to have the Super Bowl in our backyard. It certainly makes it easy.
Second-hand ticket seller StubHub has experienced a surge in ticket sales. The location of the company's San Francisco headquarters has made the selling process easy. Its average ticket price, just under $5,000.
Ashley Faulkner joins us now with a new local football coach and much more.
Rockbridge County High School senior Shamik Ware scored his 1,000th career point last Thursday night, but the Wildcats fell to 7-10 overall after a loss to William Fleming 42-51 on Tuesday. Perry McClure girls basketball won all 3 of their games this week, stretching their winning streak to 4 games. They improved to 14-3 overall. In collegiate basketball news, the W&L women beat Randolph College last night in a close 61-50 matchup. SVU men's basketball won their last 2 games, improving to 8-12 overall. They beat Wesley 74-62 and Marymount in a close 73-71 matchup. The SVU women's team lost their past 6 games and fall to 3-16 on the season. Rockbridge County High School has hired Mark Poston as the new head football coach. The Wildcats look to improve their 1-9 record from last season. It was a tough week for wrestling teams. SVU lost both matches in a dual meet this weekend. W&L dropped a pair of conference matches on Saturday, but VMI came in 5th place this weekend at the All-Academy Championship. They also beat Davidson last night 37-0. The Rockbridge County swimming teams remain undefeated after winning their final meet of the regular season. W&L men's swimming team topped VMI 171-109. The W&L women beat VMI 148-69. The Generals broke 6 pool records in the meet this weekend. Both teams will compete at their respective championship meets. The W&L track and field distance medley relay also set a new school record on Saturday. The group finished 9th overall. College baseball starts up this weekend. SVU will face William Peace and W&L will host St. Mary's. The Generals were picked 9th in the conference preseason roll. That's sports, Kenzie and Keenan.
A local man is planning to bring a dinosaur and Civil War themed amusement park to Rockbridge County. After the original Dinosaur Kingdom was damaged by fire in 2012, Mark Klein wants to bring it back and make it even bigger. Henry Lozado has the story.
T-Rexes, Stegosauruses, and Velociraptors may not be the most common sights in Rockbridge County, but local man Mark Klein hopes to change that with a new dinosaur-themed amusement park.
It's going to be like no dinosaur park it's not going to be your father's dinosaur park.
Dinosaur Kingdom 2 will mix life-size dinosaurs with the world of 1864. This will give visitors a unique twist on the Civil War history that Rockbridge County is famous for.
Dinosaur Kingdom, the original park, took place during the Civil War. So it was a mixture between the soldiers from the Yankees, actually. They were trying to use the dinosaurs as weapons of mass destruction against the South.
Klein has received nationwide acclaim for his fiberglass dinosaurs, monsters, and models.
These are all fiberglass dinosaurs. I've been building dinosaurs for about 30 years, so I've learned that they're very, very popular.
Klein's original Dinosaur Kingdom was closed after a fire in 2012. He says he wants the new park to be even bigger, but with the same unique spin on the Civil War and the Cretaceous period.
By mixing these in with the Civil War, I think it's going to make this such a unique park that people just have to see what it's all about. To marry those two together is, I think, what's going to set this apart from other dinosaur parks.
Klein says construction will begin in spring at a site across from the Natural Bridge Zoo. Klein says he hopes to open the park in June. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Henry Lozado.
That's all for this edition of the Rockbridge Report. Stay tuned for our first in-studio interview of the year as higher education beat reporter Barbara Bent will discuss the upcoming mock convention with Washington and Lee politics professor Bill Connolly.
Join us again next Thursday and on our website anytime at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Thanks for watching.